The conflict involving Iran has entered its second week, and the situation in the Middle East is becoming increasingly tense. Military strikes are continuing across multiple countries, and there is still no clear sign of when the fighting might end. At the center of the latest developments is Donald Trump, who has issued one of the strongest statements since the conflict began. Trump declared that the United States will accept nothing less than Iran's unconditional surrender. In a message posted publicly, Trump wrote, "There will be no deal with Iran except unconditional surrender." He also added that after such a surrender, and after what he described as a great and acceptable leadership is established in Iran, the United States and its allies would help rebuild the country. According to Trump, the goal would be to bring Iran back from what he described as the edge of destruction and help stabilize the nation. However, Trump's statements about the objectives of the conflict have not always been consistent. In some remarks, he has suggested that the goal is simply to weaken Iran's military capabilities. In other statements, he has hinted at broader political changes within the country. This uncertainty has raised concerns among analysts and international observers. Experts say that unclear war objectives could make the conflict more dangerous and unpredictable. Financial markets have already reacted to the rising tensions. Investors around the world are closely watching the situation because the Middle East is one of the most important regions for global energy supplies. Any disruption to oil production or shipping routes could have major economic consequences. Meanwhile, Israel has significantly expanded its military operations. According to the Israeli military, a new wave of airstrikes has been launched targeting Iranian military infrastructure. Officials say that around 50 fighter jets participated in the latest operation. The strikes reportedly targeted military facilities, missile storage areas, and command centers inside Iran. One of the most controversial reports from the operation involves a target believed to be connected to Ali Khamenei. Israeli sources claim that a bunker located beneath a compound associated with the Iranian leader in Tehran was among the targets. So far, Iranian authorities have not confirmed the details of this claim. Israeli officials also say that during the past week their forces have destroyed a large portion of Iran's air defense network. According to these claims, approximately 80% of Iran's air defense systems have been damaged or destroyed. Israel also claims that more than 60% of Iran's missile launch platforms have been disabled. These numbers have not been independently verified, but if accurate, they would represent a significant blow to Iran's military capabilities. Early Saturday morning, new reports emerged from Iran's capital. Iran's Tasnim news agency reported that an explosion occurred near Mehrabad Airport in Tehran. Mehrabad is one of the main airports in the city and has both civilian and military facilities. Videos circulating on social media appeared to show smoke rising from areas near the airport. However, officials have not yet provided a full assessment of the damage. It remains unclear whether the airport itself was directly targeted or whether nearby military facilities were the intended objective. Iran has also responded to the attacks. In retaliation, Iranian forces launched missiles and drones toward Israel. Air defense systems were activated across multiple regions. Explosions were reported in several Israeli cities as the country's defense systems attempted to intercept incoming threats. The situation quickly expanded beyond just Israel and Iran. Several countries in the Persian Gulf reported security incidents involving drones and missiles. Among the countries reporting such incidents were the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia. Many of these countries host American military bases or facilities. This has increased fears that the conflict could evolve into a broader regional war. Military analysts say that if more countries become directly involved, the consequences could be extremely serious. The Middle East has already experienced multiple large-scale conflicts in recent decades. Another major war in the region could destabilize global security and economic systems. Humanitarian concerns are also increasing as the conflict continues. According to the Iranian Red Crescent Society, the number of casualties in Iran has risen sharply since the beginning of the strikes. Officials say that at least 1,332 people have been killed in Iran since U.S. and Israeli operations began. Many of the victims are believed to be civilians. Hospitals in several cities have reportedly been overwhelmed with injured people. In neighboring Lebanon, the situation is also deteriorating. Lebanon's Ministry of Health reported that 123 people have been killed and more than 680 others have been injured due to Israeli strikes. The fighting has caused widespread destruction in several areas. Residential buildings, infrastructure, and roads have been heavily damaged. Inside Israel, officials say that 11 people have been killed since the escalation began. The country has also experienced multiple waves of missile attacks. Air raid sirens have been heard frequently across many cities. Residents have been forced to seek shelter as defense systems attempt to intercept incoming rockets and drones. There are also reports that at least 6 American military personnel have died during the escalation. Details about the circumstances of their deaths remain limited. World leaders are now calling for de-escalation. Several international organizations have urged all sides to reduce tensions and return to diplomatic negotiations. Many experts warn that if the fighting continues to expand, it could trigger a much larger regional conflict. Such a conflict could involve multiple countries, disrupt global energy supplies, and create a humanitarian crisis affecting millions of people. Despite these concerns, military operations continue. Both sides appear determined to pursue their strategic objectives. For now, the situation remains extremely volatile. The coming days may determine whether the conflict begins to calm down, or whether it escalates even further.